That's the problem. Hey, we shouldn't be judging. We shouldn't be. Don't judge. Friends, that's wrong. The truth is perhaps not so much judgment, but correction. But friends, I argue the other way. I think what has happened is we have done nothing. That the majority of Christians have sat idly by while evil has taken over, even churches, even among Christians, the evil thoughts, evil ideas, things that have nothing to do with Christ at all, have taken hold because nobody said anything. Because of the thought that I mentioned earlier, thou shalt not judge. This whole trope. But when we break down the passages that have to do with judgment, he's talking about judging from a hypocritical standpoint. He's talking about you telling somebody else not to do something that you're already doing. So friend, if you're going to want to point fingers at somebody and tell them about themselves, if they're living in sin and a Christian, you have the authority by Jesus Christ to tell them about it. It doesn't mean to be hateful, to bash them, or be mean. But friends, in order to know what sin is, somebody has to be told that it's sin. Otherwise, this is just an endless circle. That, hey, man, I've been living my whole life this way, and this is the way that I was told that it's okay, that if I know Jesus, that's all I need to do, but I can live a life full of sin, and that means I know Jesus too, right? Wrong. That's not biblical at all. And how would they know that's not biblical if you never tell them? A lot of Christians get a quote-unquote bad rap for being judgmental, but to be honest with you, I don't see very much of that at all. I see Christians being passive, 99% of the time passive, just about everything. When it comes to the alphabet stuff in the church, nobody says anything. They're too afraid to. We should not be like that. We have the King of Kings and Lord of Lords on our side. We have the Bible that says what it says. And if the Bible says it, friends, that's true. That is what it is. So some folks say, no, don't judge. Don't say anything like that. We can't condemn, but to correct and judge is okay. As long as you're not doing it, as long as it's said in a loving way that's designed to help, not hurt or wound. And friends, check your heart. Why are you saying it? If you're saying something about somebody else because you can't stand them or because you hate them because of this or that, don't say nothing. You don't have the right to say anything at all, but if you're saying it because you love them and you're worried about them, worried about their walk with Jesus, absolutely say something. Let me give you a situation as an example. Let's say you're all at church. You have a friend, he's a deacon. He comes in, he's married. He kind of, yeah, man, I was just out sneaking around with my wife the other night. I went out and met this chick, and we slept together, man. I honestly think I might love her. She might be awesome. What do you do in that circumstance? What's the appropriate response? The appropriate thing to say? We've been taught to be muzzled, to not say anything, to be passive because you don't have the right to say anything. Friends, you do. You absolutely do, and you should. You have the Bible as the authoritative measure to say something. Friend, this is what you should say. Friend, you're cheating on your wife. That is unbiblical and sinful. You need to let her know. You need to come to terms with Jesus. First of all, you have a major heart problem if you think that that's okay and you can abide in Jesus at the same time. Friend, there's something majorly wrong with you. But what has happened is instead of being sheepdogs, we turned into sheep. We just go, okay, yeah. Oh, you slept? That's cool. That's awesome. Not my problem. Kick the can down the road. It is your problem. And this is a cultural problem with Christianity right now that I'm seeing in the world, is nobody says anything, ever. And friends, I think we should be saying something, and probably a lot more than what we're saying. We should vocalize what the truth is. The truth is in the Bible, and we know the way, the truth, and the life, which is Jesus. So friends, if you know the truth, you should tell it. And friends, it's not a giant sword to wield to chop everybody down that you run into. Absolutely not. That is not the Christian thing to do. The Christian thing to do is out of love. Only love. It can come from no other place. We're commanded to love one another. And in a situation I gave you earlier, that would be out of love. You're doing something sinful that's damaging somebody else. It's going to push them away from Christ, his wife, and whoever he's cheating on her with, right? And also him. Is his soul in jeopardy? Do you know Jesus? I mean, because if you knew Jesus, you would have a conviction on your heart to not do said thing. And clearly you don't have that conviction. Something is majorly wrong. All that evil needs to triumph is for good men to do nothing and say nothing. There's an old adage that says something like that, and that seems to be the case here. And you need to remind yourself that this only applies to people that are inside the faith, not outside of it. If somebody is outside the faith and doing something sinful, they're doing what's in their nature. If somebody's inside the faith and knows God, they should be doing what's in their nature, which is under God and with God, not without him. So we have a right to say something about that in a loving way. So friends, I pray that we adopt this attitude and stop being passive and correct the cultural problem that we have now, where our churches and Christianity itself has become infested with heretical teachings, heretical thoughts, and heretical twisting of the Bible. So in essence, to quote the cool kids today, keep it 100.